Hello there. I thought I would do another Great Bassoon update slash question and answer. And today, well, I think first thing I need to do is address why I'm wearing a Christmas T-shirt or sweatshirt or whatever this is. That's because it is Valentine's Day, but in North Texas we are in the middle of a blizzard. Seriously, it is snowing like crazy. It's supposed to get down to like -4 tomorrow in Texas. And that -4 is Fahrenheit. That's -20 Celsius for those of you in normal parts of the world. So, yeah, it feels like Christmas. Plus, it was warm. Anyway, today I thought I would address the question why the Great Bassoon will not have a whisper key. Bassoon players know the whisper key inside and out. It is literally the very first key that a bassoon player is taught. Put your thumb on the whisper key. Let me grab my bassoon real quick. If you're not a bassoonist, you may not have a good concept of what the whisper key is. So the whisper key is a little pinhole here on the bocal. I'll take the bocal out. There's a little end right here. It's a pinhole, and it serves as a vent for upper notes. Now, originally, bassoon bocals had just a tiny little pinhole in it, like a quarter the size of the hole that's there now. In fact, right behind me, I've got this is a Baroque bassoon bocal. And the biggest difference you'll notice is there is no, well, pardon the phrase, but it's called a nipple. So there is no nipple on here. There is a tiny, tiny little vent hole right here, and you probably can't see it. It's so small. And that's the vent hole for the Baroque bassoon. It stayed open all the time. Made the low notes not speak quite as well as they could have, but it did facilitate playing the high notes. Now, Baroque bassoon did not play that high. You don't see much above G4. That's the G right above middle C. Occasionally an A flat, very, very rarely an A in Baroque music. It's not until the classical era that you'll get higher notes, and that's because the classical bassoon will have some vents on it. But the whisper key is kind of an archaic and, quite frankly, stupid mechanism. It is a reverse octave key on the bassoon. On most woodwind instruments, you press a register key or an octave key down and it jumps up a harmonic. Well, the bassoon works in reverse, and it doesn't even really do that very well. I can press this and it closes the vent. It's not a very efficient system. And there have been designs over the years to try and fix some of these problems, but they never take off the whisper key. The whisper key is always there because bassoon players don't really want to have to learn new technique. Now, contrabassoon does not have a whisper key. It was never designed into the instrument. So with that in mind, that's kind of how I went about designing the Great Bassoon. The whisper key is kind of stupid and pointless. So I said right from the get-go, we're not having this archaic system on a new instrument. All right, so I'm going to put the bassoon down, and I'm going to pick up the Great Bassoon, which I have right here, which of course, is always so big that you can't see it in the full screen. But here it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the bass and bell. And we'll set these down real quick. And I want to focus on the wing joint. Perhaps the most iconic feature of the Great Bassoon is the upper loop we have here at the top of the wing joint. And this is designed in here because we did not put a whisper key on. So the bassoon vocal essentially does have that curve in it. This is curved and will do basically the same function. The great bassoon vocal will come out and down and out. Just one basically 90-degree bend. It may be 85, it may be 95, but somewhere right in that 90-degree angle. So why is the loop built into the instrument? Well, that's because this is where the vents are going to go. So a bassoon has 3 vents, one for A, one for C, and one for D. It's not a perfect system. The D vent is as high as you can put on the bassoon without going into the vocal. And so you can't really have a vent for notes higher than D, even though the notes E flat, E, and F need a vent, and that vent is the whisper key. So what I've done on here is we've positioned this so that we can have another vent hole. And it's going to be about right here on the loop of the wing joint. And this upper vent is going to be functionally where the vent on the whisper key is, but it will serve as a true octave vent for E flat, E, and F, which the bassoon does not have. Then there will be down a little bit a vent for D, C sharp, and C, and then another one down a little bit further for A, B flat, and B. F sharp, G, and A flat will be taken care of by the half hole, which we're leaving as just a regular tone hole covered by the first finger. So by having 3 octave vents, just like a bassoon player normally would have, the 3 flick keys, the great bassoon will have the same 3 vents. They're just going to do slightly different functions. One for A and B, one for C and D, and one for E and F. This will make things a little bit simpler. And by doing this, we completely eliminate the need for a whisper key. It will eliminate all the long linkage down to the boot joint where you have the pancake key closing the whisper key. Don't need that linkage anymore, so there won't be any extra long rods going all the way down here. Instead, we're just going to have simple octave vents, just like on the contrabassoon. The contrabassoon's octave system is better designed than the bassoon's. However, the contrabassoon's octave system, as some of you may know, is not great. Lots of efforts have been made over the past 20 years to really redesign the octave system on the contrabassoon. Take a look at the Fast system developed by Arlen Fast of the New York Philharmonic, and take a look at the Contraforte that uses a different harmonic system as well. So the great bassoon is going to be more along those lines. And it is possible that, like the Contraforte, we might eventually design some flageolet keys on here to make it play into a true altissimo register. Right now there are no firm plans to do that, but it is something that we are thinking about. We want to get the first prototype done. Thankfully, this is going to be done in 2 different sections. So there's actually 2 joints here for the wing joint. The upper part will probably print like a dozen of these or so, and it's just going to take a while to find the exact placement where the vents are. And in the process, we might discover the perfect place for an octave or a flageolet key to go even higher. I would love to have this instrument capable of a full 4-octave range, and I think that's going to be well within feasibility. But to do that, we want to eliminate the biggest technical blunder on the bassoon, and that's the whisper key itself. That's going to free up the left thumb to be able to just relax a little bit more. In fact, we're going to be doing other mechanics on the bass joint that'll let the left thumb be even more relaxed. So there will only be 4 keys on the wing joint for the thumb, the 3 vents and the C sharp key. And there's actually going to be a different keywork arrangement of those. And once I get all that fully designed, I'll kind of share that process. It's going to be put in 2 rows instead of a single row. So C sharp key, and then next to it will be the 3 vents. So C sharp and then 3 vents. That way, the C sharp key can be activated with any of the 3 vents, which will help for harmonics, and you can actually flick a C sharp like you can't on a bassoon. So yeah, that's why the Great Bassoon is not going to have a whisper key. It's going to have a much better design. At least I hope it will. I don't have the full finished product yet. But anyway, yeah. So let me know if you have any questions about the Great Bassoon. Leave them down below in the comments. And I may do another frequently asked question about the instrument in the next few days. Maybe the blizzard will keep raging. Maybe it'll feel more like Christmas. Who knows?